Zondave, good afternoon. Hello, our community-based group gathered foods for a study on traditional Shoshone land that included the 1863 and 1868 Fort Bridger Treaty. The 1863 treaty covered 44 million acres in 4 states. The 1868 treaty covers 2.2 million acres. The Shoshone Restoring Ancestral Food Gathering, RSAFG, met once a month for 6 years. We invited tribal members and community members to help gather traditional Shoshone foods. From April to September, we gathered what was available, and during the winter months, we processed the foods.
Here are some of the plants we gathered: cattails, biscuit root, bitter root, fireweed, hawthorn berries, and sago lilies. The bitter root is a thickener for soups or gravy and is medicine for colds.
Part of the work of the Restoring Shoshone Ancestral Food Gathering Group was to partner with an academic institution, the University of Wyoming. Through that partnership, we received a variety of grants to support reclaiming ancestral foods. In this picture, I'm holding bitter root, collected together on Shoshone ancestral lands. In partnering together on grant-funded projects, we worked hard to make it an equitable partnership. Through community-based participatory research, we worked to do things in a good way, and our relationships really became the core and center of the work. Those relationships and the time we invested in gathering plants together continue to drive the work of the group. One major thing we worked on to build and maintain our equitable relationship was a data use and sharing agreement between the Eastern Shoshone Business Council and the University of Wyoming. The group worked on this agreement for over a year and sought a variety of Indigenous expertise and legal guidance to make sure the data was protected and owned by the tribe. A major funded project to gather data was the study on the health impacts of a Shoshone diet. This grant funded 3 aims, including establishing what is an ancestral Shoshone diet, what foods are part of that diet, where are they, and how do we collect and process them. The next step was to assess the health impacts of following that ancestral diet.
Establish composition and sourcing of traditional Shoshone diet. We had 2,000 plus hours collecting berries, roots, plants, and processing elk and deer that was dried or put into stew. Children as young as 5 years and elders old as 75 helped gather and process.
The variety of steps it took to source a Shoshone diet and figure out how to provide those to the participants are highlighted here. Those steps include identifying the plants and foods, locating where they were and how and when to collect them, and coordinating logistics for community members to go out and gather together.
This photo shows us skinning a deer. Our meats consisted of elk and deer jerky, steaks, and stew meat. We dried various plants and put them into tea bags. This included chokecherry, hawthorn, mint, fireweed, and rose hips. Chokecherry patties were used to make berry pudding we call goatsup.
Process of pine nuts. Here we gathered pine cones, stored them in burlap sacks to help open on their own. After 3 months, we roasted the pine cones over fire, dug the pine nuts out, then packaged them for our participants.
The RSAFG guided each part of the process, including who was eligible to participate and consume Shoshone foods. We also had to figure out the logistics of getting 4 weeks of Shoshone foods to people. Any data we collected as part of the project was directed by the RSAFG based on what the community members wanted to know.
We traveled to the Red Desert and Togety Pass near Grand Tetons. These areas are ancestral Shoshone lands where we gathered biscuit root for flour and wild carrots. On the reservation, we gathered berries, cattails, sago lily bulbs, wild onion, and hunted the wild game. Some things we weren't able to gather enough of, so we purchased them: huckleberry, salmon, and amaranth flour.
We provided participants with 50% of their calories from Shoshone foods for 4 weeks. Each participant received a bag of groceries each week. Our 3 data collection events and the measures are noted here. We have more information on our poster in the other room. Some of the unique aspects of a community and academic partnership include navigating dual IRB, the data use and sharing agreement, communicating with community members and making sure that the community knew what was going on with the group, coordinating logistics of plant collection, and trying to build capacity within the community.
Here are some of our group members preparing the food for the participants. We cooked elk, deer, and buffalo stew, and biscuits were made from dried and ground biscuit root that was made into flour.
Our third aim included building an ancestral land-based curriculum. This is something we are still working on as a group, but we have been able to do a few things, including growing native plants at Central Wyoming College, a local community college, and offering traditional plant classes for free to the community.
Sharing the story with newsletters, press releases such as Casper Star Tribune, Journal of Poverty, University of Wyoming Magazine, Shoshone Health Fair, and our scrapbook.
Today, some of us continue gathering food and use it in our homes all year long. By gathering, you get plenty of exercise and you are healthier by eating these traditional foods. We hope to get our tribe to consider creating a part-time or full-time position to continue what we have started. In this photo, and the next photo, are two of our youngest gatherers. Next week, a conference will be held in Wyoming to celebrate Yellowstone National Park's 150th anniversary. Our goal is to get park administrators to allow us to gather plants in the park. I feel we've come full circle. We've always lived in harmony with Mother Earth, and now that America is going green, we were right all along. It's come full circle.
Thank you.
Bruce.